Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Sorry if you hear my throat's a bit croaky today. Anyway, welcome to a new season. What if Deku was an awoken from Destiny? And how this is going to happen is that he's not going to be a guardian just yet. He's going to be a regular awoken from the reef. So anyway, his mother is obviously an awoken. Obviously still going to keep the name Inko. And stuff like that. But also, now that I remember it, stay until the end of the video and I'll explain something else. Anyway, so yeah, Inko gives birth, has Izuku, and her husband Asashi is one of the one of the many males they have there, regardless of how many females that are even born, or as the law says, are made or created. And, Deku, to be more precise, is extremely powerful. As all awoken actually can be quite powerful. He's powerful just like Petraven, but not weak like her brother Aldrin. Sort of. No. Marasov, sorry, not Petrazov. Petraven is, Petraven is sort of this one person that Izuku sort of looks up to during his childhood and puts himself through vigorous training day in and day out. And Inko actually works for her. And this is actually Inko, what she looks like. So yeah, a few years go past and Izuku goes on to a female fallen named Zen Isknis. Now Zen Isknis is sort of, Iskis, whatever hell her name is, I just came up with on the fly. She trains Deku, and you'll see what she looks like now. She is training Deku, and she is actually a captain of the House of Wolves. And they finished their training session saying, "Well done, Izuku. You've done pretty well." As Izuku sort of bows to her, saying, "Thank you. I wouldn't have got this far through my training without Petraven or you, Zen, from teaching me everything I need to know." As Zen, as I'll be calling her from now on, just asks him, "So what do you think you'll be doing around here now that you've done your training?" As as Deku just says, "I don't know, possibly join the fleet, be an ordinary soldier, just keeping the peace in awoken territory." As Zin would just laugh in a relaxing way and just pats him on the back, saying, "You got balls, kid. You got real balls. Not many males of the awoken would even dream of becoming a person in the fleet, considering how many females there are instead of males." As Suzuki just says, "Yeah, but we can't always let women do all the work. Us men got to pull our weight somehow." As Zen laughs and says, "Spoken like a true Elixni warrior. Well, if you were Elixni, anyway." As Suzuki would, again, as Deku would just laugh, but then shrug, saying, "It's not like you don't pull your own weight. You teach all of us. But before he could say anything else, Petra then walks up saying, Izuku, Zen, Izuku, Zen, I need you on the fleet now. No time to explain, just get on board. There's an intruder in our territory. They haven't responded to comms, and it appears like they are armed and dangerous. As Izuku gets on a catch along with Petraven, as a bunch of fighters go with them. And this is as you'll see later on, the image of the fleet. Hopefully you see it now. That's so many ships, fighter craft have gone with them, as they all start scouring the area, searching for this ship that hasn't responded to transmissions. As Petrafen says, unidentified on all frequencies, hoping somebody will hear it, saying, unidentified vessel, please respond. You have entered awoken territory. Submit now, or we will fire upon you by order of the Queen. As they still get no response, as they see a faint signal coming from the edge of the reef. As Petraven and the fighters, along with the ketch, which Petraven is in, along with Zuku, they take their time getting to the distress signal. Well, not the distress signal, the ship, as they start actually picking up a distress signal. As they're getting closer, they see start seeing shimmers of the ship, but get attacked by another ketch and swarms of fighter craft. A brief battle ensues. The fallen that attacked them belonged to House Winter, as the ketch gets out of there after losing several of its support ships. As they, finally fend off the final lot, they pick up the ship, which appears to be heavily modified to have better shielding, better guns, all that kind of goodness. But it took severe heavy damage to its right and left engine, took a direct impact to the top half, and one of its lower guns are missing. As the awoken ships get closer, they pick up one life sign. As they grab hold of it, and then depart back for the reef. I will say this, in that engagement with the Fallen, they lost only 2 ships. Yes, only 2. 2 fighter craft, and that's it. So yeah, Petraven and Izuku go towards the vessel as they, come out of jump. Drop out of whatever slip space they're in, or hyperspace, or whatever. They drop out and they head straight for a docking bay, which they then unload the ship via magnetic locks and pulley systems, as they then grind into where they think the pilot bay is, to find a woman that looks like something called a guardian from Earth. As she slowly wakes up, she sees, well, that she's in a completely different room, because as she was knocked out, they took her to a different area. As she wakes up and she sees, a man standing over her, keeping an eye on her. As she gets up, saying, "Ow, where am I?" As he pulls his weapon, as Azuka pulls his weapon, saying, "Freeze. Don't move, outsider." As she takes off her helmet, saying, "Who are you?" I'm going to say she took it off because it was cracked and she couldn't really see very well. As Zuko sort of stands there in awe while still having his weapon raised, as a little light appears, saying, "Guardian, we're in the reef of the Awoken." As this woman says, "Awoken? How is that possible? We were on the moon not too long ago." As Deku says, finally perks up, saying, "What is that thing? And who are you?" And she introduces herself as Momo Yaoyorozu. Well, no, she's not Momo Yaoyorozu. I'm just gonna say her name is Izumi. Not Izumi Midoriya or anything like that. As Petrofen walks in, telling him to go and take a leak, she'll talk to the prisoner. As Suzuki walks off, going to his room and quite literally going to take a piss. Or going to take a leak. Because he was standing there for a long time and he didn't have a chance to go to the toilet before he left. So ironically, he goes for a wee. Has a little wazzle. As he gets a transmission from Petroven saying, "Are you still dressed in your uniform or are you in civvy uniform?" As this is actually what Azuka looks like underneath all that armour. As he says, "Yes, I'm in civvy uniform." As Petrofen says, "Good, because I'm bringing the prisoner to you." She seems not to know what she's doing, and it looks like I need to have a talk with the Queen, and she's not here. So you've been around her the longest, you can look after her. As Deku just sighs, saying, "Okay." As, Petrovan throws Izumi in. As she shakes her head, saying, "Ow, you Awoken aren't very nice to guests, are you?" As Zuki just says, "Only to the uninvited ones, which you are uninvited." As she sort of asks him, "What the hell's wrong with your arm? Why have you got all that? Why have you got all those tattoos?" As Deku just says, "None of your concern, outsider." As the ghost turns up again, saying, "Guardian, we shouldn't really be here. The Awoken are notorious for being very openly hostile to uninvited guests. And we are uninvited guests. If the Queen of the Reef herself didn't ask you to turn up, then they would not fire. But considering you were unconscious at the time and even I couldn't get you up, the Awoken took us in and took us prisoner. But considering you're a guardian, they're going to ship you off home, you could say." As Izuku says, "Wait here," as he goes and puts his armor back on. Shortly after that, Petroven turns up again, saying, "Follow me, Guardian." The Queen has asked me to bring you to her in the throne room. As she leads her to the throne room, zoom to the throne room, followed closely behind by Izuku. As Izuku in his own head saying, "Why would an awoken become a guardian? This must be an earthborn awoken. That'll most probably make more sense. Yeah, she's got to be an earthborn awoken." As he continues to walk up beside them, entering the room as Morozov asks Petra, Ren, and Izuku to leave. Just then they see another catch turn up. One with the House of Wolves colours, heavily damaged on its starboard and aft engine, and its few guns that it's got have been torn off as they report running into a small hive. Well, hive fleet, very small, easy for them to deal with. They dealt with it, but they still ended up suffering damage and loss of crew. So Petroven then says, "How long will it take for you to repair?" As the Fallen say, "Give us 10 to 20 days and we'll be right as rain." Petroven, being obviously agitated by this, says, "We don't have 10 to 20 days. We need all ships out there patrolling. You guys being out for that long would mean there's a huge gap in our system for other Fallen factions to take advantage of." As the Fallen say, "We apologise, ma'am. It will not happen again." As Petroven says, "Make sure it doesn't, or otherwise the Queen will have your heads on a silver platter." And we all know that we don't want that to happen. Anyway, anything else to report? As they say, no. As Izuku gets a message from a Ravenclaw, or from one of the Queen's ravens, as he says, whispers saying, "Pass this to Petrovan immediately." As he pats him on the back and says, "Good luck with your next assignment," as he quickly runs off. As Suzuki pats Petrovan, saying, "The crow gave me this to give to you," he said something about "good luck with your next assignment." As Petrovan just simply snatches it, saying, "Who the hell?" as she has a look. And by the way, this is the raven that gave Izuku the information. You'll be seeing a lot of him, as he's one of the other only males who's actually managed to get in good with the Queen enough to actually get a job at the with the Ravens. As Petrovan sees it, she then swears, saying, "Frickin' and fracker." I don't know if the awoken swear or not, so yeah. And she says, "Izuku, try and do your best for this. I'll go and tell the Queen about this," as she runs swiftly off. As Verix the Loyal turns up, saying, "Petra seems agitated. Yes? Something wrong." As Zuku just says, Verix, you know Petra better than anyone here. When she starts running off like that, you know something's wrong. Yes, Petra then. Always the warrior. But I look over Prison of Elders. Yes? Was that a guardian ship I saw you all cutting into? Very handful, yes. Could be bountiful of resources, yes. Strip down, make new vessel, yes. As he sort of rubs his hands together, Izuku just saying, no, no, Varix, we're not scrapping the ship. As, well, as he just says, too bad. Would have loved to see what was inside the vessel. As he just walks. Petrovan then walking up saying, What was that with Varix? As Zuka just says, yeah, he wanted to see if he could scrap the ship. I just told him no. As Petrovan says, good, because you're going with Azumi back to Earth. Back to the place where we awoken used to live. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. See ya.